good evening, everybody. Good evening. I trust we're all doing well. I trust we're doing well. Happy Sunday. Hope your day went well. Hope everything went well today. Hope you were able to catch up with your family, catch up with your friends. Because Sunday is that day where we're able to do all of these things, right? Where we go out, have fun, receive a lot of visitors. receive a lot of visitors. So, yeah, I promise to come back here today to continue what we started yesterday. I'm seeing something on my screen, and this kind of happened yesterday, and I just want to be sure that this is actually recording. I hope it's actually recording. So, I'm just going to continue, right? Yesterday we started off with talking about off-land projects. We talked about what off-land project really means. We talked about the different things that people think about offline projects. We clarified the notion of what people had in their mind about offline projects. So if you are still one of those people who have the assumption of what offline project is, aside to what it actually means, I think you should go back to my live session yesterday and then get clarity. You better still scroll through my YouTube channel. I have a lot of videos. I have about 350 videos, and trust me, they are very educating. So I've done a couple of videos concerning off-plan, what it means, what it entails. I've even done some slides about it because I need the information to get out there for those who wants to invest, right? And today we're going to be talking about off-plan project, but this time around we're going to be talking about what you need to do before investing in any off-land project. Because when you get it wrong in this particular aspect, when you don't get it right at the beginning, that is where it all begins to look funny. Everything begins to go funny, and especially when you're even ready, especially when you're ready to now probably pay some money, or when you've already paid some money down and you're ready to start reaping from your investment, and they start telling you different stories. That's because you didn't do some background checks and you didn't do some things that you were supposed to do before investing. So we're going to dive right into what you should do, especially if you're investing in off plan for ROI. ROI means return on investment. If you want to get return on investment from an off plan project, you cannot invest randomly. You cannot do things randomly. You need to do some things, and that's what I'm going to be emphasizing on tonight. We have just a few minutes, 20 minutes to have this conversation. And if there are any further questions you have, of course, you can always send me a DM or call my number. You could get my number from my bio by clicking on the link there. And then we take it up from there. If there are specific questions you like me to answer for you. So number one thing here is to check the developer's track record. My goodness, I cannot but emphasize on this one. You see, we are in the season and in the world where we have a lot of noise going on. We have a lot of people making noise about something. So there is that thing where people come online and they are seeing a particular project. They are seeing this particular project is popping, it's raining. And guess what? The next thing they want to do is just get into it. In fact, down to today, I still got a call from someone who saw a project somewhere. I was asking me about it, and I didn't know about the project because I don't market every property. I try to do my findings. I do my findings a lot before putting out any property in the market. I work with people that have track record over time because I mean, if my client is having panic attack from the project that they invested in or by investing in the project that I introduced them to, then I'm not going to have peace, right? So my peace of mind is very important to me. So I'd rather not get involved in every property, except the one that I've looked into and I can vouch for. That way I can, tell my clients about everything that involves the property and then help them get the necessary thing that they want to get from the property. Because people have different reasons for investing in projects, and because of these different reasons, you get different things from investing in this project, right? Well, Nigeria has happened to me, but it's okay. So the first thing you need to do is developer's track record. What is this developer's track record? Has he done some project over time? What has he done over time? Like, what is these things that he has been doing before now? Are there projects that you can see that he has a track record of doing? Are there results that he has done before this period? Not something that it's new. He has never done any project. He has never delivered anything to anybody. They have not done anything They're just making promises to you, telling you how they are going to do this, how they are going to do that, and you've not seen anything, not even land that they've done allocation for. You are seeing people complaining about not getting allocated, not seeing the land that they paid for. And all of a sudden, they are telling you that they have enough land projects and they are promising you heaven and earth, and you bought into that idea. That's not a good sign. If you see that, run. So the developer's track record is very important more than anything. The developer's track record is very important, so much so that if their credibility, if their genuinity is questioned or has been questioned in the past by other people who has bought from them, don't be a scapegoat. That's where you learn. And how can you even know that they've delivered if you have not done your research? If you've not gone ahead to check out what they've been doing in the past, if you've not gone into the market to research, if you've not asked questions, how can you actually know that these people will deliver on what they say they will deliver on? It is when you do your research. I understand that there's a lot of time to do so many. There's a lot of things for you to do, a lot of things to invest your time into. But if this involves your investments, you need to take out time to research. That is why I advise to work with professionals, because they are in the market. They know those ones that will always tell stories. And not just any professional. I mean, while working with professionals, you should also work with those that have track record too. Not just anybody that just comes up and tell you that they're a realtor, they nothing, they don't have any track record, or you've tried to check the company they work for or they work with, and you're seeing that this company that they're attached to has some issues online. Please, that's your sign for you to run. Don't miss those signs. Don't overlook those signs. So the company has to have successfully delivered some other projects. Let them not use you and do um lab rats. You don't have to be their lab rats. Learn from other people who has invested with them, and see if they have if they've had incredible if they've had credibility and integrity over the years. That way, you know it's a good sign for you to start. Somebody is asking, no, no, no. Yesterday, it's not a repeating video. So yesterday we talked about off-plan, right? But today we're talking about what you should do before investing in off-plan projects. That's what we're talking about today. So it's a different video. It's not. Thank you for joining my live yesterday. So it shows that you were in this video. You were in this live yesterday. Now, the next thing you should ask before investing in any off-plan project is to ask for the project specifics, the plans for the project, like everything that has to do with the project, right? You need to ask questions. You need to know when they are delivering this project, what are they going to do with this project? Are they doing an apartment? When are they going to deliver? You need to ask these questions, because it's not what you probably think in your mind that they are going to do. You need to check if it aligns with the goal that you have, right? Every project has a particular goal. Let's say you want a project that is going to give you a fully detached duplex and you want to move in the next 6 months. It is advisable that you ask them the project timelines, because if you want to move in the next 6 months and this is a new project that will take like 12 to 24 months, that means it's not something you should do. So because of the price or because of the location does not mean you should jump into the project, right? You should ask questions. This way, it's going to help you get into the market with something that aligns with what you want. All right. So ask for the project plans and the project specification. That way you know if the delivery time aligns with your goal. That's the only way for you to, get into project that you would not get into the project with assumptions, and then at the end of the day, you're not happy about the entire thing. You feel like the company did not deliver to their promise, whereas you were the one that assumed a lot of things. Investment, I would always say, investment does not do well with assumptions at all. So it's very important, it's very key that you invest in something that you know and have proper understanding about. So the next thing you can also look out for when investing in an off-plan project, or before investing in any off-plan project, is if it has a payment plan. Now, this is for those that want to spread their payments. There are some people that like to just invest outrightly so that their mind just goes out of it. While there are some other people that don't like investment opportunity to pass them by. That way, they want to invest in something that can probably help them spread their payments so that they don't miss out on opportunity. Now, not every off-plan project has long payment plans. Some do, some do not. So you need to ask questions and be sure that this off-plan project you want to invest in, it's going to take 6 months, 1 year, 2 years. Some take as long as 20 years. That's if it's under mortgage, right? But there are some other projects, offline project, that is privately owned and privately financed. Those kind of offline projects take shorter term, like 12 months or 24 months. So you need to ask and confirm that this thing aligns with what you want. So the next is resale potential. You need to be sure that this property you want to invest in, this property you want to buy into, has a good resale potential. Remember that what we're talking about is what are the things you should know while investing in, before you invest in offline project, for return on investment. Now, if you're going to invest for return on investment, that means whatever it is you're investing in is supposed to give you some good money back. Now, it's not right or wise for you to invest in something you do not understand. And the only way to invest in something you don't understand is if you don't ask questions. If you ask questions, you get clarity. That way, you know if whatever it is that the company has in plan aligns with what you want. So that is why it's important to ask questions. You don't assume things. You ask what questions like, what is the cost? Let's say for an off-plan project in let's say Asokoro, what's the cost of apartments in this Asokoro? What's the cost of apartments in this particular location currently? You compare the current market value to what the property price is at the time. That way you can project what you'll be getting. That means by the end of the project, because you came in early and you invested early, by the end of the project, you're going to get some good amount of money. If you don't ask questions about the current market value of that location, you are not going to be able to project what you would get in return. You would assume that, okay, it is a Sokoro, it's supposed to be a very big money. But if you ask specific questions, how much is two-bedroom apartment in Asokoro? That way, you know that if you're investing a particular amount in Asokoro, you are likely to get this amount. You're likely to sell or get this particular amount when you're ready to probably continue selling, or maybe continue using it for everyday cash flow property, or you want to sell it off. Because some people buy, and when they buy at the period where the project is just starting, they sell it when the project ends. That is some people's form of investing. While some people, they buy the off-plan project, they furnish it, and then give it to somebody to probably manage for them, to give them cash flow. Some other people will buy, furnish it, and then sell it as a furnished apartment. It all depends on what you want. But you need to understand that not every location can handle all of this. Not every location would encourage all of this. There are some locations that it's better for you to buy at the early stage and sell when it is finished. There are some locations that it is better for you to buy, furnish it, and then sell it. While there are some other locations that it is better for you to buy, furnish it, and then use it for your everyday cash flow income. So it all depends on what you want, and you can only know these details when you ask questions. It's important that you ask questions so that you don't leave your investment to chance and get lost instead of getting returns from your property. Now, the next one I talked about is the rental income potential. If you want to give it out for everyday rent, let's say you want to give it out for Airbnb, every single day Airbnb, you can ask questions like what I just said now. How much does it cost for somebody to get an apartment in this location? And let's say in a place like Uye, where an apartment would cost up to like 250K or 300K, depends on the side of Uye, or depends on how the apartment is furnished and the quality of the apartment. And you want to invest in Uye, it is wise that you ask, how much does it cost for a person that wants to rent or get an Airbnb space in Uye? This way, when you are investing in Uye, you know that, okay, if I'm done, by the time I'm done with this investment, of course, the projection in the location would have increased, like the price of properties or price of apartments in that place would have increased. That way, you're able to calculate it and know what you will get out of it. So if it doesn't align with what you want, if the price feels like it is too cheap, there are some locations that when you buy, I always say this, offline is offline, right? It is off the plan, but not every location would give you the same amount. If you invest in an upcoming location, somewhere that is still very urban, somewhere that is still very rural rather, and you expect for it to be giving you the same amount of money that somewhere that is very exposed and very developed to give you, that's where you're going to be making mistake. You need to ask these questions. You need to speak with your realtor, confirm that these things aligns with what you want. That way there are no surprises, and everybody goes home happy, right? So if your goal is cash flow, it's very important that you don't assume. You make researches and find out that the rental market and its potential aligns with your goal. So it's important that you ask these questions so that you're able to get the best out of cash flow property. So one thing I understand about cash flow, that I love about cash flow rather, I'll tell you a quick story. So the other day when I was trying to find an apartment for a family who wanted to secure something before it gets to December, because they were scared they were not going to find something, right? And we needed to just find something. And that particular day, we were able to find something surprisingly, because they wanted to pay immediately and then they didn't want stories. We were able to find something. I saw a lot of apartments. We were able to find something. Everything was booked. People were booking like up till March. Some people were booking like they were booking for a very long time. And I was like, there are a lot of apartments, but there is no space. Like that means there's need. We have demand for this need, but we don't have a lot of people that are tapping into this market. But what shocked me the most was when I was speaking to the person, the one of the client that owns the shortlet apartment. He was telling me, okay, this one is full. Let me take you to another one. This one is full. Let me take you to another one. And one person had I think over six. I think it was seven thereabout. 7 apartments, different location. In one location, he had like three. So he just had it scattered, and I was so impressed. What impressed me the most is this person is not an old man, he's a young person and he's actively involved in real estate. He loves, in fact, the way he was talking about it, he had so much passion talking about it. He told me how when he wanted to buy the first one, how people were discouraging him and telling him all the location you're buying. When he told me the price of how much he bought those places, I was very shocked because with the current market value, it was nothing close to what he bought it. Nothing close. And in fact, he wants to sell one of those apartments. And he's selling it that one is at Jahi. And he's selling that one for 280 million naira for a furnished 3-bedroom apartment. A very beautiful space. And he said if he doesn't get a buyer, it's fine. And he just wants to sell it so that he will just use the money to do a couple of things. But he's not in a hurry, that he wants to get out some money during this Christmas. I was so impressed. So imagine you have, and for every single day, he gets up to 200,000 naira, at least 200,000 naira every single day from each apartment. And all of this apartment I'm talking about, these 7 apartments, they are all booked for this Christmas. All booked. In fact, somebody rented one for 1 year, for one whole year. Somebody rented one for one whole year. So imagine having this investment scattered everywhere, and you have cash flow coming in, especially if you're in Nigerian abroad, and you probably could use one investment. You There are some things that should not be said online. Like this are supposed to be for personal consultations, right? Because there are some people that whenever they hear some of these things, they are very surprised. Like, okay, does it really work? Yes, it does work. The only problem is the basics. If you don't get the basics right, every other thing would be wrong. So it's important to get the basics right. That's why I'm teaching this, because I get a lot of calls every single day on people asking about projects that they don't have full understanding of, but they want to invest because they like it. They like the idea of it. They like the idea of having an investment, but they don't even know why they are doing it, which is very wrong. Because if you know why you're doing something, that way you know what to expect. You don't have shock for any surprise. And if there's any surprise at all, you know how to handle it. You're able to measure and know what to do. So this is all for tonight for offline project. If I say offline, this light is giving me some this thing. For offline projects. Offline projects are very, very interesting projects to get involved in, but you need to get the basics right. And the only way to get the basics right is to ask questions. Don't assume anything. Especially if you're investing in Nigeria, don't assume anything. If you see something online and you don't have a proper understanding of it, I do clarity calls. Get involved in clarity. Tell your realtor you need to get a clarity call. So even if it's a 10-minute clarity call for the person to explain to you, okay, this amount, this money now that I have, what location do you think it will do well in? How much do you think I'm going to get out of it? When do you think that I'm going to start getting enough yield from it? When do you think I should pull out my money? When do you think I should sell? When do you think that I should add more options to it so I can have better options? These are some of the questions you should ask. So if this live If you got value from watching this video, please do not forget to give me a thumbs up. The reason you're giving a thumbs up is so that there are other people that don't get scammed. I'm making these live sessions because we are in that season of the year where people are buying properties. They are going for inspection. They are back to Nigeria. They are seeing the property that they liked and screenshotted online. They want to go and pay for the property, but they are not even fully aware of what they're about to put their money into. So I'm doing this live session so that you can get knowledge on what you're about to invest your money in. So if there are further questions you would like to ask, all you just need to do is there's a link in my bio. Just click on that link in my bio. It's going to take you to my WhatsApp, right? So, or you can call me on 090-1233-9963. That way we can have a clarity call. If there's a project you want to get involved in, whether it's a land, an off-plan project, I'm going to put you through. Even if it's not from my page, you got it. I mean, it's totally fine. Even up to today, I still got a call from someone who saw a property somewhere and he wanted me to help him make some searches. And I told him what to do. So if you're confused on what to do at the project you're seeing in the market and you're interested and it's not on my page, you can as well still reach out to me and I'm going to help you make sure that you don't get scammed. Thank you for joining my live session today, and I'm going to see you next weekend. Have a great week and enjoy a Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year in advance. Bye.